Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. So today I got something a little interesting. I don't know how 100% accurate this is. I don't know if there's actually a really good chance of anything happening here, but I work at a Target, right? And there has been this toy set that I've seen on display the last like week and a half, and I keep looking at it every day thinking that's a little odd, that's a little weird, and it's been confusing me a little bit, and it's taken up a decent considerable amount of my time and thought process. And, I've been waiting for maybe somebody to mention this online and maybe bring it up in a conversation or a discussion. I follow a shit ton of Marvel YouTubers, and not a single one has said anything about this. But this is kind of a big deal to me, at least, because in the past, there have been multiple instances where toys have came out for a movie, and it has spoiled something that is going to happen in the movie. One of the main examples that I could currently think about this is there was a Stormbreaker toy that came out before Avengers Infinity War that revealed that Stormbreaker was going to be made with Groot's arm. I don't remember how exactly it was revealed or whatever, but that kind of spoiled a big thing for the movie. The fact that Thor and Rocket and Groot were going to hang out at some point was kind of revealed. And there's been stuff like this, MODOK was rumored to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for a really long time, but Marvel themselves never really admitted it or said anything about it. And then Funko Pop, before the second trailer, which revealed MODOK in it, dropped their pre-orders for Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania pop figures, and one of the main figures was MODOK, and I thought it was really funny that kind of spoiled it a little bit. Not really, because I think everybody kind of knew it was happening, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But this does have the potential to be a big thing if it is anything real, if it's not just, a toy company trying to profit off of a popular movie. But today I saw this toy set. I'm going to go ahead and throw a picture of it up on the screen. So at a glance, right, it has a lot of characters who we know are going to be in the movie. Spot is in it. I kind of like the design of his toy, actually. It looks pretty cool. It has, the regular Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy. Ben Reilly is in this. I'm kind of excited about that. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. There's a lot of different Spider people, but the thing that is really throwing me off is it has only two villains. Spot, who is already confirmed to be the main villain of the movie, and Prowler, which, as of right now, there is zero confirmation that Prowler is going to be in the movie. There is no trailers that have showed anything about him. There's no there hasn't been any announcements that he's going to be reprising his role and he's going to be in this movie. So I think it's kind of a big thing that he might potentially be in this movie. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, I'm going to give a little bit of a background real quick. So the Prowler villain is a popular Spider-Man villain. He's one of the few villains that I feel like is actually, in a lot of comics, purposely used against Miles Morales. But it is Miles Morales' uncle, Aaron Davis, and in the comics, he's mostly doing it because he really can't afford to live or whatever, so he's kind of just a part of, the wrong group of people. He's with the wrong people at the wrong time, and he becomes a villain who works for other villains, basically, and he becomes a member of the Sinister Six. In the first movie, he is a part of the Sinister Six. It doesn't really explain much about why he's connected to the Sinister Six, just that he's happened to be there. And him and Miles have a really, really great relationship, and then eventually Prowler ends up dying at the hands of Kingpin, and Miles realizes that it's his uncle, and there's a really sad, dramatic scene, and it's Miles' scene with his uncle dying, which is a very big thing for Spider-Man people, which is why I think it's really interesting. So in the current trailers that they're showing, they're setting up the stakes for Miles is that he's going to have to make a decision between saving one person and saving an entire universe or something like that. And I think it is really interesting that they're kind of making it seem like Miles hasn't lost anything. They have, a lot of them, Gwen Stacy, she lost her best friend. The majority of them have lost their Uncle Ben or whatever. But for Miles, he lost his uncle as well, but they don't seem to really care that he lost his uncle. They seem to be kind of alienating him because he hasn't had that kind of sacrifice in his life. And I think it's really interesting that they're setting it up in the trailers that he's probably going to lose somebody in this movie. And I think almost 100% of the people online have already decided that it's his father. His father's going to be the one who dies. But seeing this toy does kind of raise some questions. One, they could have chosen any of the Sinister Six villains from the first movie. There was a lot to choose from. There was Dr. Ock, the female Dr. Ock, which was so cool, Olivia, instead of Dr. Otto Octavius, which was such a sick reveal. I actually absolutely loved that. There was a couple others. My mind's like completely blanking. Scorpion was in it. He was one of the big ones. But they chose Prowler, which in my opinion, I could see why that could be kind of a cool big thing. But at the same time, I feel like more kids would be like, oh my god, there's a little robot woman with 8 arms or whatever and stuff like that. They'd be kind of like, that's pretty fucking dope, as opposed to, there's just a dude in a purple suit. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool toy, right? Not that I'm planning on buying the toy, but I think it's really weird, and I definitely think it is something to discuss, the fact that they picked Prowler. Is he going to be in this movie? No idea. Do I think it would be really interesting if, what's it called, Miles Morales at some point is having like a downtime, he's not feeling so great, he's feeling really self-doubt, and then his uncle from another universe, because that's the thing, this is a multiversal movie. Just because his uncle died in his universe doesn't mean he can't run into an Aaron Davis in another universe who can be like, hey kid, you got to pick your head up, and basically give him like a little motivational speech or whatever. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it would be really interesting. And I think another thing that would be really cool, which would kind of catch people off guard, is if Miles meets this other version of his uncle, and maybe in this universe, Prowler is a good guy, right? Prowler isn't a bad guy. He's not on the wrong side of the law, whatever. He's actually like an ally of Spider-Man in that universe or something like that, right? He sees the universe where his uncle, the guy who he's looked up to his entire life, is actually a good guy, and now he's sacrificed with making the decision of, you have to save his life or save the universe, and he's kind of like, I've already lost this guy once, I don't want to lose him again. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be something that happens, but I think it definitely would be an interesting plot line if he was a character in this movie. I don't think it's going to happen, but I personally would love it, and I would also love it if it's voiced by Donald Glover, and it's kind of like a little hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the fact that Donald Glover played what's it called, Aaron Davis in the MCU. I think it'd be pretty cool. Like I said though, I don't think it's gonna happen, but I wanted to talk about it because I haven't seen anybody make a video about it. I haven't seen anybody talk about it, and I think it is a little too interesting and suspicious to not mention it. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will see you in the next one. I already said that. That's my bad. Peace out. Bow. Bow, bow.